Welcome to the Chop Team. I'm your host, Seth the Dart Child.
I'm your host, twinsinc.
Our show is about two guys and any friends that happen to come over with a topic that we want to chop up.
This is our barbershop style podcast. We discuss it all. If the fellas at the shop will go in on it, we will. Let's chop it up.
Okay, this is Jdub, a new member of the Chop Team. I'm an honorary member today, so
appreciate it.
I'm gonna bring the topic today.
Hold on, before you jump in the topic, we got some few guests in here today, people. I want to give them a quick shout out. So we have
Lady Di,
Miche,
Nedge.
So with that being said, we have 3 women on the panel with us.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
They know about me and stuff already. They know about us already. So this topic is going to be, you know what? We have 3 ladies. We have 3 men. Jdub, what's the topic today?
Interracial dating.
All right.
So what about interracial dating?
Yeah, get it started.
So I started this conversation earlier because I do promote interracial dating within my family. I have 3 kids. They're all grown, and I'm a black male. So I just wanted to promote interracial dating with them so they can just explore options that are out there for them. I grew up in the South. Me personally, I'm from Mississippi. So I didn't experience interracial dating personally. But since I've grown and traveled the world pretty much and seen different people of different races, I actually promote interracial dating because of the opportunities that my kids may have or other people may have by exploring people of other races. So
when you say promote, Jdub, so promoting is you're like saying, hey, son, hey, daughter, I really want you to date a Asian woman or someone from, different cultures. Is that what you're saying when you're saying promoting? Or it's not that you want them to fall in love with somebody, it doesn't matter the color, and you support that. So when you say promote, define promote for me.
Promote for me is to try it and see if it works. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So for me, I really didn't have the opportunity because there was just me. There was just people of color. So, and I kind of wish I had the opportunity to date people of other races. So that's why I say, in my opinion, promote is to try it and see what it's like.
So kind of like learn from a different culture side.
Learn from a different perspective.
Okay.
So do you feel like you missed out on something in life because you didn't?
No, I don't personally feel like I missed out on anything because my relationships with black women have been great. For the most part, there's been some bad ones and good and bad with anything.
All right,
but being able to see people of other races interact with their culture and our culture, I think there's opportunity for us to mix and mingle together.
But that statement about black women and having some good, some bad, in every culture, women, period. Doesn't matter the race. There's some crazy ones out there as well.
Absolutely.
So,
So I have another question just to clarify. Just to clarify your initial statement. In terms of dating outside the race to open them up to other opportunities. Now, when you say opportunities, you mean just experiencing someone from another race? Or do you feel like dating someone outside of your race allows you to have opportunities you wouldn't otherwise have?
There's possibilities of that. I've seen that from a white male's perspective. Generally speaking, white males they don't have to deal with the things that black men have to deal with and we know the history behind white and black in America. Mm-hmm. If they choose to date that particular race, they are presented with opportunities that are not available in some cases to black men.
Example?
So,
Please elaborate.
Hey, Jay, we got you, but you're going to have to lead this one.
Okay, you know what, Jay? I'm going to give you this much. This is a topic specifically I never, ever wanted to touch base on. But you know what? I'm going to be on your side just for the sake of argument. I got your back. It ain't 3 against 1. It's 2 against 3. Let's go.
Example?
I appreciate it. Well, let's just talk about what black men have to deal with. Most black men, and I'm a black man. Most black men come from single parent households, which in some cases bring trauma to those men. A lot of times, black men are not really experiencing love from, I think, from a over gaping experience like other races are. So there's a lot of things that impact African American men that don't impact Caucasian men. So
Okay, so the link that I'm not getting though is, and I agree with the statement you just said, a black man's experience is very different from a Caucasian man experience. But help me understand, how does that translate into these options you're talking about with dating a white woman or someone outside your race?
Wait, before you answer, I want to clarify. You say you have 3 kids. What genders? How many?
Male and 2 females.
Okay, keep going.
So no, I just want to open their eyes up. I'm not telling them to go date a white man, go date an Asian, go date something. I just want to open their eyes and let them experience life, or maybe experience life. It's up to them on who they decide to date. I support whoever they date, men, women. Doesn't matter to me.
Thought you were about to say dogs. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Humans only. But I just want them to see life in a different eyes that I didn't get the opportunity to see life in.
So what I can say is this. Before marriage, I've dated multiple women. And I'm not saying this one race. I'm talking about I dated white, I dated black, I dated African, Jamaican, of course.
Sorry, that's your race.
But you know what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that I dated not all. I mean, I never had a Chinese, never had an Asian. But the point I'm trying to make is that
way too much.
Doesn't matter. Listen, this is the barber style chop. So here we go.
Run it, man.
So what I'm saying is that so as far as getting the experience or whatever, I knew. For example, I dated a white lady, right? And I knew it was going to work out. Because the reason why I say it won't work out, because everybody getting in relationships, everybody getting arguments, doesn't matter who you is. You fight all the time. And then the one time we get an argument, she goes for the juggler. And when I say juggler, she dropped the N-word. She dropped the N-word.
Wow.
Yep.
And that just let me know, you know what? Let me go back to my sisters.
There you go.
Because it ain't going to work out. Now, I ain't going to front. I did some great benefits.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Hold on.
It don't hurt as bad.
I want to hear the benefits. I want to hear.
I mean, see, for me, I'm speaking for me, twinsinc only, the benefits I got when I was dating a white woman, I got a car. She redid my house. What else? She took care of me.
So you was a sugar baby.
I was.
Pretty much.
I had no problem with it neither.
Yeah.
But
Which, hold on. Before I jump in, which, with that being said, not saying she was the best relationship ever I was in, but what I'm saying is that all the benefits she gave to me, no other woman gave to me. So I'm just saying. I'm not saying, apparently it wasn't enough because I didn't marry her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was going to ask.
So,
was this just a fling, or were you trying to make something out of that relanot
it was a fling, but
Okay.
I mean, it was a fling over 5+ years.
No.
Oh wow.
No. Did you not marry her if it was over 5+ years because you didn't want to get married, or was that never actually an option?
That was it was never an option.
Okay, on your part or hers?
Mine.
Okay, you think it was on yours? I just want to say that.
Listen. I wasn't bidding on one knee.
No, as a pure argument, you've been in a relationship with people where you knew that relationship was where it was going to be, point blank.
True.
It was never going to grow past where you were at. That's what I'm asking. Was it your choice not to grow it, or did you just know that wasn't an option?
I never thought past it, but me mentally, I couldn't do it because I wasn't as woke as I am now. But I couldn't see myself being at that time I was with a white woman, so I couldn't see myself being with a white woman after this thing about over 40 years, my black sisters being raped and killed, all that stuff over the years. I couldn't do that. I'm like, no, I can't do that. Before I give up, I'll marry me a sister before I even marry a white woman. So That's why. So no, I never had no plans to actually marry, but I did reap the benefits though of being with one. I'm not gonna lie, it's all facts.
So I feel like I need a notepad here. Write down my bullet points. So first and foremost, I want to go on the record saying that I am not against interracial dating. I mean, my father is a product of an interracial marriage, so not against it. However, to me, there's a lot of, it's the psychological things behind interracial dating that bothers me. Mm-hmm. So one of which being the message that it sends to black women. When we see our brothers continuing to turn to women of other races, right? So it sends a message that we're not good enough. We're not pretty enough. Mind you, when you're having children, when our black brothers have these children, right? Your children, whether you have it with someone outside the race or with a black woman, your child is a black child.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, yeah. The dominant gene.
So it's almost as if you send a message that where you come from is not good enough. And if I move to the economic side, right, I understand that there'd be benefits. And I've heard that before. I think I heard Kwame say it on this show, right?
Thanks the man in the bus.
He made the comment about...
AKA, that was Chunky the Don, so everybody knows.
Sorry, I don't know what his
You threw him on the
But, for doors that open up because you date someone outside of the race or marry someone outside the race. And I can see that can happen and how valuable that would be. But I kind of feel, once again, that's almost like you're saying, like, instead of me helping to build my own and bring my sisters up, let me build with this other woman and benefit from what she has. And I have a problem with that.
Well, can I ask this question? Can we build as a black culture in other ways outside of relationships? Is that possible?
That is very possible. However, as a community, the family is the unit. It all starts with the family. Okay. Right? It all starts with the family.
I agree. That's the nucleus of it all. But self-worth. So it doesn't matter if you don't think that you're worthy enough of any person. If you don't love yourself, being black, white, or whatever, in a relationship, that you're not enough for yourself to be enough for a person. I don't care who, my boys were growing up, who they married. As long as they respect each other, they loved each other, they built that family, they have a family, father, mother, the things that are important. I really didn't really have a promotion or judgment against that. Because you can have the best of families, father, mother, black, holding it down, working, building. And your children, it's their life, and we have to let them live it. As far as having the benefit of experience other cultures, I think it's our goal as a parent to have those experiences with your children. Like, take them to a different country, have them eat different cultures, foods, and experience other people. I mean, we can still have our black community. We don't even support each other now, our businesses or anything that we do.
Facts.
But if we get together and build our business and have those other factors or people around us that our kids know about, that they feel like, I can do anything because, I'm black gifted and, I have an Asian wife, or I'm black gifted and I have, a white wife, or, a white husband, or, whatever. Because a lot of black women that I know, and I'm almost 60, that are now dating white men because, first of all, their self-worth. They feel that they want better, and they think that a white man is better.
Which is a problem.
I know, but they're dating black men, having, bad experiences with, black men. So it's both sides of the coin, for both.
I have a question for the black men at the table.
Bum, bum, bum.
That have dated.
You mean the darker complected? Just asking.
Yeah.
All black men at the table,
okay,
regardless of complexion, if you have dated outside. Because one thing I And I don't know. I think it looks like to me sometimes is that the way a black man carries himself when dating outside the race is different than when he's dating a sister. Like, so the question is, do you see that, or is that just a figment of my imagination?
That's what we perceive.
Right? Is that just a perception, or is that the truth? Because it looks like for example, like I've heard black men say that, you know, white women are easier to get along with. They don't nag. They don't do this. They don't do that. But then when I observe a black man with a white woman, I don't see that he's doing the same things that you tend to find a black woman nagging and complaining about. Like, his actions slightly change because of this person that he's dealing with. So is that just a perception, or is that a fact?
That is a fact. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure I say this right. I personally think people are going to react to the person that they're with. So if I get the energy I get from you, probably is going to reflect the energy I give you. So if I feel that you're confrontational, I'm always going to be in a defensive position, or vice versa, whatever. So yeah, if I'm trying to find a nice way to say it, but a lot of females of our complexion are used to fighting. And I don't mean physically fighting, but it's hard being black in America.
Yes. We all agree on that.
Yeah. So if I have to deal with that hardness of being black in America out in the streets, you have too. You're a black woman. You know it. So when you come home, you still have subconscious frustrations that you brought home with you. And I did too. So when we get home, that same energy we had in the street probably came home with us. Now, when you deal with someone, and I'm not advocating this, but you know, when you deal with someone of a different race, they don't have that subconscious frustration already in them. So when I interact with you, I actually am vibing more so with black women than white women. We are on the same level. I get where you angry. I know why you angry. I might just be tired of being angry. I just want to be good. And if I can't be good with you, I'm going to look for somewhere I can be good. No, listen, this is not me approving. This is just me speaking.
No, I get it.
But
I get it.
So and so that's the whole thing, though. It's not that you're in public interacting with white women different or Hispanic women. It's that person doesn't have the same struggles you had. They don't know. And for a little while, you might be able to let that junk go on yourself. But once again, that's just my impression of what you're saying.
Good to know.
Good.
That's good.
Oh, sorry. Can I mess up the moment? No, just
No.
but,
No.
But
Did I kind of answer your question?
No, it
for
does.
understanding?
It does. It does answer the question.
So I have a question for you, Michelle, then. Mm-hmm. So as a black woman, would you date outside?
So I have never dated outside.
But would you?
I would be lying if I said I've never considered it. I've thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I really think about it, I don't feel like I can relate to someone outside my race the way I can relate to a brother. I just don't. Honestly, if I were to do it, what that means is that I have gotten to the point where I feel like I've given up on my black men, and I can't find
that's
my
deep.
black.
That's deep.
That's the thing
right there.
Because that's the only reason why I would do it.
Serena Williams?
huh?
Yeah.
Serena Williams?
No, not that there would be, not promoting here. I'm not promoting that there could be just somebody that, you work with and you got a lot of things in common and you want to.
We can have things in common, but there's certain things that I don't feel they can truly understand. And being the person that I am very sensitive to what we go through in our community, it's just very hard. Like, somebody might surprise me. Right. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
And at this point, I don't think it exists. And I'm not really attracted to
Right, and that's
right.
Yeah.
I love my brothers, and
well,
Not her brother, but brothers.
black men. I love black men, and I don't see it. You know, I think about, I have 3 sons, right? And, you know, I think about the fact that every night I go to bed, I'm praying for those three black young men of mine. And I just don't think a white man can truly understand what that means. And,
I mean, they can't. You know,
yeah, I need somebody that can truly understand when, you know, when you're going through those emotions.
See, but I mean, and that actually answers that. Like I say, you just said it on your first statement as far as the energy. It whatever it takes for you to lower your guard. Once again, just want to reiterate that. If me and you both going through the same struggles out there in the streets, if one of us, not just you, if one of us can't let go of that negative energy, when we get home, eventually the house is gonna break down.
So what I was saying, so it's not so much it's not the negative. I get what you're saying, right? But I think, to me, the way I would prefer to address something like that is have my black man, and we figure out how to work it out and get to that place, right? Versus trying to find someone else that can't relate to what I'm going through, and you know, I'm just getting a rub on the back, but you can't really, when I'm talking, you don't understand it,
you know,
right?
Yeah. Okay. So
that will lead to frustration.
And the other part, because like I said, I want to delve down to dating. Ladies, please define dating versus relationship. Define that for me so I know how to make this statement.
Old school dating.
Okay.
Let me tell you about the old school dating. We're just going to dinner. We're just getting to know each other. You know, we might meet every now and then just to hang out. Relationships is relations. We're intimate.
How do you get from dating to relations?
For me, it takes a long time, but for some people, not. You know, it has changed. So
I don't know if I can answer that question based on this world, because I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't get it. But from my perspective, relationship means you have decided to work towards a particular goal.
Okay.
Right? Something long-term, hopefully.
Dating?
That's dating. Dating can mean anything these days. Dating can mean anything, but dating, to me, there's no commitment there. There's no commitment there.
So, Seth, why you asked that question?
Well, I'm trying to put together this process in my mind. The argument comes in because initially the question from Jdub was, what's the problem with interracial dating? Okay. If there is dating with no commitment, where's the problem? It's not saying that you have committed to this person of another race. You're just having fun, enjoying yourself, right? So I don't see the problem with that. But that transition, but you do have to go through the dating phase to get to the relationship phase.
Right.
So if you aren't cognizant in your mind of what you're looking for while you're dating, you'll end up in a relationship somewhere you didn't mean to be, or something, worse. But that's the point. I think personally, I feel like the definition of dating nowadays is, since we no longer know what dating means, because at this point you don't really date. You just pretty much just
Netflix
you do. Well,
and so and you hope that a relationship builds out of Netflix and chilling, and that. But once again, that's not positive. Now, the problem being from a male versus, because back to your initial statement, whereas, one of your initial statements, whereas you don't feel the energy. I mean, not energy. What was that statement? I lost it. See, mental. Okay, but I was going somewhere with that. But it's still that if you don't know what you're dating for, you're not going to get where you're going. I don't know what Jdub wants from promoting his kids to interracial date. Are you really looking forward to them? I mean, not looking forward to it, but would you really prefer them to have fun with other people? Because that does lower your relationship value if you've been sleeping with a lot of people, just exploring your options. So where do you want them to land? In which case, do you want your grandkids to be black or mixed?
I don't have a preference of what my grandkids become.
Okay.
What I am open to is a conversation that wasn't had with me when I was younger. So I'm opening it up to my children, and for that purpose, it could lead to wherever it goes.
See.
So I have a question.
Just
Following up.
curious.
So as well, this could be for anyone dating outside of their race, but I will need someone that has done so to answer the question. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like on some level you compromise yourself or your blackness in order to be with that person?
I hate to keep answering.
Yeah, I'm going next. But I'm going to answer afterward.
I'm going to throw something on the table that's a little bit off. Men and women view relations differently. No man is compromising himself by sleeping with a woman of it, regardless. We don't actually care who I spend my time with, who I spend my money with, who I raise kids with, but just compromising.
So
nah,
and
men
I don't
care.
mean physical. I mean just being. Okay, so I'll give you. So a cousin of mine, I remember he was dating a Caucasian girl at one point, and she was just head over heels over him. And one day, she actually had the audacity to say to him, "I can't believe you came out of a black pea, blank, 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 blank." Right?
Okay.
Like,
So once again, that goes back to I'm done.
Birthed it out. So I've seen where women. You didn't get that?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I
tell it.
Thank you.
Sidebar.
Oh wow.
Look,
Wow.
Right. Like she was so enamored by him, she could not believe. So, and I'm not saying all women from other cultures are like this, but I have seen where women of other cultures, they actually look down on black women because they feel like, your man wants me, right? You're nothing type of thing. So I always have to wonder, for a black man to be with a woman like that, does that mean he has to give up a part of himself?
No.
So by the record, I will tell you, my cousin kicked the girl to the curb after
I'm
she
sure.
said that.
I would hope he did.
So for me, right. So me, kind of what he was saying, like we don't really care about all that. But me, when I dated this one Caucasian, for me, it wasn't really a date, but it was 5 years, whatever you call what it is. But for
sex
me,
partners.
exactly, I was getting payback. So when I say payback, and
reparations.
so when I say payback, let's just say I ragdolled her. I didn't really care. You understand what I'm saying? Because I knew in my head I wasn't going to be with this person in a long-term relationship. And because, once again, I'm still black. And then I think one time she said, what really turned me off is she said a comment about a black female. Like, I can't stand you mess with that black B. I said, hold up.
See, that's the type of
and
thing.
then I said, hold up. My mom's black. My aunt's black. You know what I'm saying? Grandma's black. They're women. So what are you saying when you made that? Oh, well, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about... See, we made that statement, though. So that's why, me personally, I knew I wasn't going to be in a long term. I could never be in a long-term relationship with anybody that's not black. Sorry, that's not me, because I'm woke. Call what it is.
What?
400 years. I can't get that. I'm sorry. 400 years we've been oppressed as black people. For me to run over there and date someone else, that's why I get so frustrated with these actors, these NBA players, because they make all this money. And then what they do, they find them a little snow bunny and marry her so they could be in the in crowd.
Yeah.
And just to add to that little piece of it, too, like I said, I have 3 sons. That's my youngest that you just met, and he's 16, and they like rap music and they watch these videos, and what are all these women and that these women that the boys idolize don't typically look like
Us. Right.
So, I feel too that message that they send is, and I've seen it in my boys where, when they're looking at these girls or the girls that they're liking, they don't look.
I'll say they're young. I'll say that.
But what is the message that it's that message that I'm talking about. Like at some point, when do we as a community stand up and say, okay, Well,
I say this. I mean, it could be stem from young men growing up fatherless.
That is true.
And having a black father in the house. You know what I'm saying? They're constantly seeing different men coming in and out, and some be nice, some be good, but they're gone. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? My mom, my dad. So I knew my dad growing up. So I knew, at the end of the day, I'm a married black woman, have me a family, I bring my kids this way. I had it all planned out in my head because that's what I was exposed to and that's what I seen. And then, of course, I have friends grew up without their fathers, and I know what pain they went through when not having a father figure in their life. So for me, I'm only speaking for me only. Me personally, I know that I needed to have a black queen in my life, regardless of whatever my life goes down. But I don't know. That was just me personally. Hold on. But what I was saying though, before you jumped in, that's why I'd be so frustrated with these certain actors. Like I like Omar Epps because he has a black wife. I like Denzel Washington. He has a black wife. You know what I'm saying? I like the actors because for example, women love the best men. Oh, those strong black men. I love them. Only Morris Chestnut has a black woman at home. But these women put these guys on a high pedestal. But when you look at the after show photos on the red carpet, they all got snow bunnies. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wait a minute, is that what y'all want? Because Morris Chestnut is the only one that is I consider a real man. And so when I look at, not role models, but when I look at favorite actors, my actors have black wives. If I see an NFL player that I follow and I like, I like how he plays, and say got a white wife, I can't do it. Dude, how could you do that? Because I played football. I growing up, and these dudes who got white wives in the NFL, they lived in these poor neighborhoods. They tell you the story. They grew up in Miami. They grew up in these low income areas, right? With that being said, only thing that was around was black women growing up. So they had sex with black women growing up in high school. They went to college and had sex with black women. And then when they came pros and famous, they forget the black women.
They didn't forget them. I think they're targeted. I think it's a marketing thing. I think
it is a marketing thing.
They're exposed. You know what I'm saying? So hey, that's what's happening. All their friends
That's true. And also,
so they're caught up in that.
That's true.
Especially when they're being told the options that they get.
Oh, Lord. There are perks.
But Jay, I just want to say one thing from a black man's perspective. I'm going to shut up because I've been talking too much. I've dated a white girl, a girl from India, and a Hispanic chick. At one point or another, in every one of those relationships, they have reminded me that I was an African American man. They have reminded me that that I was not what they expect, that I was a black. Some of them have used the N-word at one point or another. So regardless of what you feel like is available, I hate always going to this, but there's a certain undercurrent of racism inherent in this country, and no matter what they say, when they get angry, they tell you exactly what they feel about you, and you'll notice this. That's all I'm gonna say. That they can explore their options, but nobody's gonna let them forget that at the end of the day, they are N-word in America.
And like I did say earlier, and he was like, I said, Dwayne said she called her the N-word. And I was like, well, some sisters will call you an N-word too. And he said, it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't have
the same effect. And I know this.
Right?
I know this.
Right.
It is what it is.
Different meaning.
It's not the same meaning.
It does. But
so
that's true. Different.
But I don't care if you had sex with them. Just leave them where you found them. I'm just being fair because at the end of the day.
So with Jdub, only thing of that is that this. Which is cool that you want to tell the kids that, which is fine, to each his own. No knocking for that. I'll say this: do you think they teach their kids to date us? Because I know for a fact. I know for a fact Chinese don't. None of them do. Because mind you, reason why I say because when I try to holler at Asian or Chinese man, no, don't even look at me.
You know what else is funny?
What?
You see a Hispanic family be like a mother farm like 30 kids, but you see a black man or something with a Hispanic woman, it'd be no kids around. They do not have. My boy married a Hispanic woman. And when they got divorced, because she told him she could not have kids with him. This happened. This ain't no hypothetical. They don't want our kids.
Well, in some cultures, like in
it's
Dominican Republic, they literally say they raise their children and tell them that they should marry and procreate with folks of doesn't have necessarily be white, but of lighter complexion. And a Dominican person told me that while I was in Dominica.
Yeah, it's definitely tied.
Okay.
I mean,
so that is, I think that's part of, once again, if you find love and it's all there, I think everyone deserves to be happy. And like I said, accepting it is one thing. Promoting it is just the piece that I just, that's the piece.
Well, I thought you were going to stab her for a minute there. I saw it. Like, she was going to shake you in the bathroom, bro.
And that's what makes us all different. We're all different people, and I have a different perspective.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I stand strong by what I said.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you're right.
That's
You
fair.
weren't exposed to that, so it's different. You want your kids to be exposed to that. But tell me about your girls. Are they open to or not?
I don't
just
know.
curious.
I don't.
So
I
how
don't
do you promote
actually,
to them? How do you say
No, I said I actually told them, think about dating outside of your race.
Daddy.
So
okay.
think
straight
about
shot,
it.
huh?
It's a
No
thought.
chaser, huh? Straight
No
shot.
chase.
Boom.
Straight,
Just go out.
straight to the dome.
So did they have a bad
about it.
experience with black men or just
No.
No.
Okay. I just made a suggestion
Okay.
for my children.
What does your wife think about that?
She was fine with it. She
Okay,
didn't
She's
cut my
black too.
head off. She didn't cut my head off, but
I said she's black too.
I don't know if she necessarily agrees with it, but she didn't say don't do it. So
Okay. That's cool.
All right. Anyone? Any other questions, thoughts?
We can hear from the Justy.
Yeah, just what?
Justy, come on.
I just think y'all said it all.
I think she agrees with me.
All right, people. So that was a good conversation with the ladies today. Please like, share, comment. I definitely want to see the comments. I want to see what y'all got to say about this one. For everybody keeps saying, based on women on the show. Listen, I have 3 ladies on the show today, so I better see the comments flying today. So it wasn't one-sided.
Yeah, we might have to do another show on the comments if y'all come up with some good ones.
All right, people. Thanks for tuning in. We out.
Peace.